So now I would like to begin with our first facilitated conversation, collective strength. Doesn't that seem appropriate? Let's share challenges and solutions for a stronger association. So I am going to be moderating alongside my colleagues Marcela Santos and Tammy Moore. If you would join me up on the stage, you can give them a wild round of applause. Do you need it?
Well, I'm going to use it when we start.
Okay. All right. Am I on? Can you hear me? Okay. All right. So the purpose of this session is really engagement. Engagement between virtual attendees and the attendees in this room. So this is a participation sport that you're now a part of. If you are at a table and you don't have, I don't know, at least 5 or 6 people, try to get to a table where we have at least that many people. I'm not going to point out any tables over here to my left side or anything, but you really want to have a table that you can create some discussion. This is your time to move around if you didn't pick up on that. So Marcela, would you like to start us off?
Of course. I'm going to introduce myself.
Please.
Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Marcela Santos from the ALS Association in Colombia, South America, not USA. It's great to be here. This is my, 4th, 5th meeting. I'm a board member, but I'm also the daughter of a patient that lived with ALS for 16 years. So this is a personal cost also to be here. And to add to Calaneet, try sitting with someone you don't know. Please, let's get this moment started and sit in a table where you don't really know someone, because what we're going to do next, it's what we're here for. It's collaboration and sharing this strength of gathering here globally.
Great. Tammy, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. Well, welcome everyone. We're so happy to have you here after 2020 and now 2024. It's my pleasure, along with my co-host, Claudine Cook from SLA Quebec, who are so pleased to be able to have you with us. So my name is Tammy Moore. I'm the CEO of the ALS Society of Canada, but I didn't come in originally to this community from a professional perspective. I came in because my cousin, who is like my big brother and my best friend, was diagnosed. And it really changed the trajectory of my life because of his reality. I ended up moving across Canada because I wanted to be closer to him and experienced part of his journey with him. So Doug has been an inspiration to me throughout my work, and I've now been with ALS Canada 10 years, and 11 years, I think, this is my 11th Alliance meeting. So I'm really pleased to be able to see so many familiar faces and so many new faces. And to what Marcela said, this is an incredible community, and you get to be a part of feeling that global push as we are all working together for a world free of ALS, MND.
All right, well, thank you both. So I think, Marcela, do you want to?
Yep.
She's going to give us some.
Okay, my virtual attendees, I know you can see me and hear me. I'm going to be representing the virtual attendees. Everybody, if you're here in this room, of course you're seeing this live, but I also want you to download the application, the app, Feed Loop on your phones, because we're going to do things differently this year. We need to talk to the people that weren't able to come or couldn't come, or the visa got denied, whatever. We need to connect with those people. So get on the chat and start saying hi to everybody that's online. People that are online, please introduce yourselves in the chat. Tell me where you're from, and let's get this conversation started.
Excellent. And for those of you who are in the room, as Calaneet said, find a table of buddies and take this opportunity to introduce yourselves. If it's your first time here, then maybe you can share what it is that you're hoping to get out of this meeting in the next number of days. And if you've been a bit of an Alliance veteran at these meetings, then please You know, it does get a bit confusing with a series of meetings, so you probably have a few tips that you will be able to share. So we're going to take the next 5 or so minutes to give you that opportunity to really start to connect.
All right, everyone. Now you get your first question. Almost there. There we go. All right. This is great, because this is what this is all about, is getting to know each other, learn from each other, and hear from each other. And so we'd like to go into a little bit of problem solving or celebration. And I want you to spend the next 10, 15 minutes or so at your table discussing either a challenge that you and your association have faced over the last year. Maybe it's something that's been resolved. Maybe it's something that still needs to be resolved. Or maybe there's a victory that you'd like to celebrate, something that happened that was really special, either in your country or within your organization. And then we're going to pick one person from each table to share with the rest of the room. And part of this idea is both collective problem solving and collective celebration of the hard work that everyone is going to do. Everyone got it?
Same goes for the virtual audience. Also share a challenge and or a victory, and I'll be reading your comments as well.
All right. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm sure you have heard some interesting stories, things that our colleagues have been working on and going through over the last year. Marcela, do you want to pick a couple up offline, and then we'll start in the room here virtually?
Sure. So we have Sue Nelms from UK. She explained that NICE, N-I-C-E, a government body responsible for approving medications based on cost and effectiveness, initially refused tofersen because they viewed MND and ALS as a single illness and believed the medication didn't benefit enough people.
Oh, that's
So
great.
that's a big challenge.
That is a big
And I also want to share from Malaysia. Wait, I lost. Okay, go back to me because. Oh no, Malaysia, yeah. Ohe said a patient did some artwork and they sold them immediately when they did an auction, an art auction. So that's a
great.
great victory as well.
Lovely. All right, let's start in the room here. So this, how we're going to do this is, whoever wants to share, raise your hand. We'll have a microphone come to your table. Please introduce yourself, where you're from, your organization, and what you have. Oh, we've got volunteers right here. Excellent. I didn't want to have to pick on people. That's good.
Hello, everyone. I'm Evie Reviers from Belgium, and I will present the challenge and the victory of our table. So one of the challenges was working between different continents with the time difference, the different time zones. And the victory was the structure that was built into the company. And the other challenge was actually the telemedicine and making sure that there was no competition. And the victory is one of the largest ALS clinics. And for myself, the challenge was the language barriers between countries. And one of the victories was to make sure that all patients and carers are supported in Europe.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Evie. I'm looking for a hand. Who's next? Okay, next table, and then we'll go over this way.
Okay, oh great. Hi, good morning everyone. My name's Kim Berry, I'm from ALS Canada. We're gonna start with our victories, and we really went down the rabbit hole, so you can see who's around our table. One of the big victories is Lukey and the Lights, and the opportunity to share that last year, and all of the work that went into that, so that was wonderful. One of the other things which is big for our organization that we recently secured a $13.5 million funding from our provincial government to support those who are living with ALS in Ontario and the clinics. So this was a collaboration between the 5 ALS clinics in Ontario and our organization, so to fund our equipment program and to fund the community leads who support individuals. So this is over the next 3 years. So we don't have a lot of information beyond that, but we're really, really excited. And the other one is that the King of Netherlands recognized 2 individuals who are living with ALS for over 25 years for the advocacy efforts that they have done. And the last, we want to talk about challenges. I think it's sharing our knowledge, making sure that we're staying connected, and really the opportunity to learn from each other, because what might work in one country may not work exactly the same way, but there is a good concept and there is good foundation that we can all share with each other.
Great, thank you. $13 million in a king, that's not bad. All right.
I just wanted to, to just elaborate on that a little bit more.
Sure.
My name is Limor Noach. I'm from the ALS Foundation in the Netherlands. This is my first Alliance meeting, so hello everybody.
Welcome.
I just wanted to thank you so much for sharing this with us. I just wanted to tell a little bit more about Bernard Muller and Robert Jan Stuit, because those are the 2 men who got the recognition from our king in the Netherlands last week. And it was very special. I want everyone here to realize that they are the ones who actually created the Patient Association in the Netherlands. They are the brains behind Project Mine, which you all know. They are the brains behind the ALS Investment Fund that invests in scale-ups, that looks for medicines for ALS. So, and Bernard Muller actually makes art with his eyes using artificial intelligence. So these are people that just go beyond to contribute to the ALS community, and it's an honor for me to share their names here with you, Robert Jan Stuit and Bernard Muller, and we're very honored that they got this recognition from our king. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Special contributors. I'm going to look to this side of the room. Anybody ready to share challenges, victories?
Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Goodman from IMALS, and our table had a very robust discussion about the general challenge we all face around boundaries in our institutions and just kind of wanting to do everything for the ALS MND community, all of the things that emerge from patients and other constituents around the things they want to do and having to set boundaries around what's feasible. So we had really good discussion around some solutions we've tried, bringing in people to think creatively about resources, kind of spinning off different ideas in different directions, setting timelines with different patient communities, et cetera. Anything else you would add? Okay, thank you.
Great. Thank you. I think many of us can relate to that challenge. We want to say yes to everything, and we can't necessarily. So thanks for being so bold to bring that up. What are some other challenges, victories around the room? Yep. What's that?
Hey everybody, Leslie Ryan from the US, from the ALS Association. We talked about the challenge being to serve more people. People with ALS are living longer and getting diagnosed earlier, and we have more people getting diagnosed. So we're needing to serve more people with maybe limited resources. Changing resources came up a lot at our table, right? And this impacts a lot of businesses and organizations that we work with. We're all kind of facing a similar thing. And in the US, the healthcare system is not very patient-friendly, and so that adds to a lot of the burden on organizations supporting people. So we had fun talking about the wins, because we've got a lot of them, but one of the biggest ones is we're seeing organizations in the US and internationally work better together, and we're really excited about that. It goes to all of us wanting to say yes to everything and not being able to. So I loved the boundaries comment. We can't all be experts. We need to be specialists. We have new models of care, and technology is really supporting us being able to serve more people, provide resources more broadly, and things like telemedicine, Zoom support groups, connecting with people all over the world. And that also really reduces the caregiver and patient burden when we're able to do things from our homes. And we're also really focused on educating and connecting the healthcare and advocacy community, so our healthcare providers, about how to care for people living with ALS, connecting people who maybe are new to the industry so they're not having to reinvent the wheel every time. And we've got some exciting stuff happening at the Alliance. We have exciting stuff happening in organizations that we're all a part of that are connecting these specialists and rock stars in ALS with the new generation of people who are starting to serve them, whether that's in a clinic or with research or with advocacy efforts. So a lot of excitement and a lot of wins.
Great. Thank you, Leslie. Marcela, do you have some online?
Yes, we have Philip from Kenya. He introduced himself as the person that couldn't travel due to visa problems. He said, the challenge of witnessing patients with MND-ALS facing limited options is profound in Kenya and Africa. However, there is renewed hope as we broaden our network of friends and supporters who can make a difference.
Wonderful.
So, kudos to Philip, because yes. Also, we know it's a new association, but also there are people here that it's the first time. So this is the place to connect. If you're in virtual as well, text, there's a message box in the app. Feel free to contact new people, make connections, because this is what this is all about.
Yeah.
Don't be shy.
Don't be shy. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Philip. We hope to see you next year. Maybe the visa will work out a little bit better next year.
Yes.
All right. Who else in the room? Kathy. Oh, not you. Sorry, Ricardo.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ricardo. I'm a physician. I'm working with a foundation. The name is NEMO, and I'm a consultant for the ALS Association in Italy. The change and the victory from our table is that, how much the rehabilitation and how much the APF could do for right now for patients and their family. And maybe this is a really also challenge to make this point understandable for the researcher symposium, because sometimes we think that the answer of our needs will arrive from basic science. And maybe this is true and is our hope that it will happen. But is not the answer. I mean, if we'll have a therapeutic answer, we'll in any case needs to have rehabilitation, we need to have occupational therapies, we need to have a lot of people around. And I think we have to consider all these people also really important, and we can affect right now also the processing of the generation of the disease.
Great. Thank you very much. Very well thought out. Others? Looking for, we got hands everywhere now. This is good. Okay. Back here, and then I'll come back over here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yumiko Kawaguchi. I'm from Sakura International in Tokyo. And we are talking about how to raise a caregiver. So, but I can understand English, but I'm bad at speaking English. Love helped me, so I'm speaking Japanese.
You're doing a great job.
Okay. そしたら、桜モデルの話をします。Everybody interested in how to raise caregivers in Japan, and we made a Sakura model, which is 一般の人からここからジャパンに一般の人からどうやってケアギバーを育てるかっていうシステムを作りました。
So it's a system where patients and other non-professionals train the caregivers themselves. And in some cases, the patients run their own corporations that then provide the caregivers to other patients. And they recruit and train the patients. And so the Sakura model, or the Sakura Association, helps the patients to set up these corporations to train the patients.
2006年に横浜で発表したんですが、聞いた人いますか？
She presented about this in 2006, so some people may be familiar with this from who were there back then in Yokohama.
It's almost 20 years ago. But we made a big success, and それで、今だから over 30% patient choose tracheostomy tube feeding, and this living at their house.
Right, so they've been able to provide in-home 24-hour-a-day care for a lot of patients. So the tracheostomy rates in Japan are quite high. And they've been able to do this because of being able to recruit the caregivers, which is a big problem in a lot of places.
まあ大事なことは、ケアギバーの生活のレベルをアップするために、国と交渉して給料を上げる交渉してます。100% 公費だから。
Last point. So, and it was very important to make sure that the caregivers had a good quality of life. So they negotiated to get them better pay and better compensation in general. And it's 100% publicly funded, the caregivers. So the money comes from the government, and the recruiting and training and hiring is done by the patients through these corporations they set up. But it is 100% publicly funded.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Amazing work. I think many of us are going to come and ask you more about that. We've got another one.
I want to say real quick, she's being very humble. They've trained...
Introduce yourself.
Tanner Hawkins-Smith, sorry, the ALS Association in the U.S. They've trained almost 4,000 caregivers since their time. And our challenge that we discussed was the fact caregiving is one of the biggest hurdles that we have, both in janitorial and skilled caregiving in the U.S. in order to increase quality of life. And when she told us the idea that they had, Coldup and I are like, that is a crazy idea, but crazy often works in ALS. And so it's one of those things to where it got our minds thinking about how to creatively look at potentially changing the landscape of caregiving in the U.S., which is something that we've attacked. So that's...
I see a new project for the ALS Association in the United States. Okay. I think I had a hand up here, and then I'll come back. Did I not? Did I see that? There we go.
So hi, this is Carlos from Fundela, Spain. And well, these are humbling numbers that we're hearing about. But just to let you know, I think that one of the great challenges that we all face is remaining in the spotlight, so to say. And I have to say that in Spain, we're quite happy that we've managed to, well, we usually fund like 3 projects, basic research projects. And this year, we managed to attract even more attention, funds, and talent. And we have funded 3 research projects, or actually 5 research projects, including one of them for young researchers that we feel quite proud of. But I have to say that any victory, so to say, for an individual association is a victory for the entire ALS community, which is what is important. And in line with that, I will say that tomorrow I will tell you a bit more about a great victory that we had in Spain, the entire ALS community, for all of the pulse in Spain. But again, I'm not going to tell you about that right now. So tomorrow, for 5 minutes, I will tell you about that. And hopefully we can all enjoy what is, I think, is a great victory for all of the ALS organizations in Spain, but for the entire community everywhere else.
I like the teaser commercial there for the presentation tomorrow. Great. Thank you. I got a wave in the back here.
Hey, Calaneet. It's Rob from Ionis, but I'm actually reporting on behalf of Leanne from Australia, one of our people living with ALS MND. And Leanne wanted to share her biggest challenge was actually getting here. She wanted to share that the way she was able to do it was with the support of 8 crew members, as she called them, including her husband, who I'm sure would appreciate being counted amongst her crew, and 7 others. So that's her biggest challenge that she faced, and she was able to overcome it with their support.
Great. Amazing. Thank you. We are so glad you are here. I cannot even imagine the challenges that you had traveling here, given the fact that many of us have traveled around the globe and are able-bodied, and we know how challenging that is. So thank you for being here. It's really special to have you all the way over here. Thank you.
We have
From the wheelchair. Marcela?
yeah. Virtual room, Alper from Turkey. We all love him and know him. He said, hot news from Turkey. We achieved our goal in the Istanbul Marathon. We will be able to provide more devices and eye gaze trackers. And second big news, National ALS database, doctor-based medical data entry is starting very soon.
Wonderful.
And also, completely biased, Orlando from Marcela, Colombia. Another achievement was the development of a diploma course in our alliance with the National University and the National University Hospital, with the participation of 275 healthcare professionals from all over Latin America. With this, we managed to expand knowledge about ALS MND in the region.
Wonderful. That's great. Thank you, Albert, and thank you, Colombia. Back here, one, two.
Hello, I'm Fernando Vieira from the ALS Therapy Development Institute. At our table, we had a great conversation that ended up focusing on being impactful while minimizing duplicating efforts. Some of the ways that can be accomplished is by focusing on your organizational strengths and then looking for collaborators who can sort of force multiply your impact by working with you with their complementary strengths. Thank you.
Wonderful. I think that it seems to be a theme coming up, right? That we all can't do everything, and focusing on the work that we can do or that we're experts in, and finding those who can help complement the other work that we need to do. Thank you for bringing that up. It's a passion of mine. I know it's a passion of all of us up here. So thank you, Fernando. I think I saw a hand back here.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello to all my old friends and new joinees. I'm Dr. Himangi from Foundation from India. So about in India we have around 60,000 experience spread across the country, and we have now just 2 NGOs working in India exclusively for ALS. So our challenge is to not reaching out to all the patients in time. So not all people are unreached. They don't have much support. And also, if they reach out, it is a lot in the late advanced stage. So we have a MND clinic, but it becomes challenging for them to travel to come to our clinic. One way we can having a virtual operating consultation so our doctor can guide them. And another thing was limited fund to have a full-time paid staff. So the follow-up with our patients suffers because we don't have a paid staff. We work on only voluntary patients. So one of the big things just came now in the I have my friend here from ALS Association who is a fundraiser, and she came with an idea about working with technology companies who are looking for global collaborators. So, we can have some fundraising company. So she has promised me to help me. So thank you. And I think this is the strength of our meeting. When we meet in a person, we can talk, chat, connect, and achieve a lot more than only being a woman. So thank you, Alliance, for having this meeting and connecting all of us. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you, Himanji. I'm so glad you're here. Talk about big destinations. India, coming from Australia. These are people who are going through great feats to be in this room. That tells you how special this community is. All right, let's see. We've got a few more minutes, so any other tables want to share? Oh, all the hands. Okay, let's start over here. And then, Pablo, I'll come to you.
Thanks. I'm Davos Stanek from Australia, and first time at the Alliance meeting, and I work with Fight MND, and just discussing some victories and some challenges that we've faced as an organisation this year. Both the challenge and a victory is our 10th year anniversary of fundraising and investments into cure and care. That's a victory, but the challenge is celebrating that in the right manner and ensuring that we engage the community across Australia in the right manner to celebrate with us to promote awareness of motor neuron disease. Other victories, we ticked over $100 million investment into research and care initiatives for MND this year, and which is a great thing to celebrate. But we also are aware that we need to continue this, and we held a roundtable this year to discuss issues and barriers and resolving barriers to progressing research for MND and development of a better treatment, and also introduced guidelines guidelines program to standardise the care for people and individuals living with motor neuron disease in Australia, which currently doesn't exist.
Oh, that's great. Thank you. Nice to meet you, and welcome to the party. Okay. Pablo, I think I saw your hand up.
Okay, so in our table we had Kate from MND Victoria in Australia, Sydney from Denali Therapeutics, and Dario and Pablo from the ALS Association of Argentina. Kate was telling us that they were having a little bit of a gap in the emotional aspect, but they finally got a professional emotional counselor last year, and it's apparently working really well. We all have different challenges, and some things that flow naturally for some of us are a little bit of a hassle for others. So we said that we've been covering the emotional aspect in Argentina with 3 different professionals for years. But on the other hand, in Argentina, we've been struggling with getting people to participate in in-person events again after the pandemic. We are still struggling to get into the rhythm, the flow that we used to have before the pandemic with our volunteers. And Kate had a very nice idea, very good idea about trying to look for resources in universities. Sometimes students could be a good source of volunteering, and Sydney, who worked in NGOs before, she said that's very true, that they found that to be very true. And on the other hand, a victory that we had in Argentina is that we are setting up $20,000 for research for next year. We're going to be doing an epidemiological study because we still don't have an official ALS registry in Argentina. So hopefully this will work as our first official ALS registry in Argentina.
Great.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Pablo. All right, I think I have time for one more, getting the hook. Anyone? Do I have a hand? Going once. Oh, okay, great. Thank you. Thanks for the help.
In our defense, it's very bright here.
Yeah, it is bright.
I'm Norman from Montreal.
Hometown.
We talked around the table, and Carolina shares the big win of $13.5 million for equipment in Ontario. We also talked about the challenges and opportunities of the transition to the new CEOs of Alberta and BC, Leslie and Donald. And finally, I think this year marked a big step forward in collaboration. First of all, by having successfully implemented a symposium here in Montreal. And second of all, we had, in Canada, we have a small population, but we have over a dozen ALS associations. And we had our first meeting bringing together Canadian Western Canadian Alliance and the ALS section, and the ALS Canada, and the ALS Quebec. So I hope we can build upon that in 2025 and learn from you all how to build a common policy platform for advocacy. Thank you.
Well, that's amazing. I think we have to wrap it up. That's probably just a sprinkle of all the amazing things that are happening around the globe. So Tammy, do you want to wrap us up? And
I think this was just an excellent example, too, of, it's sort of like popcorn, how we all brought forward some of the successes, some of the challenges, and that's where the strength of this room is. And as Carlos did the teaser for his talk tomorrow, those are the richness of where we can learn from one another as we go through the next couple of days. Many of us have formed those relationships over years, so it's nice to be able to have so many new people to come to the community that we can all work together to be able to make a difference and really create that world free of ALS MND. So thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Tammy. Thank you, everyone. This has been really rich. I hope you've enjoyed the opening session. We're going to take a break.